Hey, welcome back to our YouTube video tutorial. Now, this is not a tutorial, so welcome to our weekly business roundup, where we'll be discussing about the business and investment in Africa, especially in startups. So I will be talking about the African companies that are doing well in technologies. Now, also I will also be talking about the finances and how the startup are getting the funding from different sources of the world. And I'll be focusing specifically for Africa, and I'll also be tracking of this startup and how they grow and how they you're able to come up and solve the problem. So with that said, let me talk about the top 10 vested startup in Africa. So so on number one, we have cheaper. So if you don't know about cheaper is a startup that is going to help in payment. It's sort of like a payment system, and is the Jeff Bezos has invested a lot of money in this startup. And formerly, cheaper was we was cheaper cash, but now it is cheaper. So, and when you compare this startup from how to get the money, it get the money when the economy was tough, and that was in the year 2020. So, and that was pre-COVID. So, and with pre-COVID, the company was already on strong growth trajectory, coming off the back of 6 million seed raise that closed in December 2019. During 2020, the company raised additional fund, and this was the start of pandemic. This time, 13.8 million in Series A. And they also announced they have over 1.5 million users more recently, and they've bumped up this number up to 3 million in their advertisement. And this is the first startup that has raised a lot of money on African continent. The second is Smart Identity. So this startup is trying to uh, give identity to Africans, and has raised the with the rise of fintech startup like Chipper that we have said in our previous slide. In Africa, a company like Smile Identity benefit with this as well. You know, Smile Identity, as the name may indicate, is all about ID or identification, verification, and know your customers, compliance and service for fintech, healthcare, and other key use cases in Africa. The company raised a 4 million seed round in 2019, and I wouldn't be surprised by that he has raised Series A by early 2021. So, given the same growth, companies they are partnered with offices in Cape Town and South Africa, Auckland. So the third company that has raised a lot of money, this is Andera. So I think you know about Andera. You have heard about it. So Andera isn't foreign name to you, right? So they just got to public attention by TechCrunch level since where they with 100 millions raised in early 2019. So when then are they still on my wrist? So why do we have in my wrist is because I think there is still so much opportunities for data, because the field of outsourcing the engineers is becoming a norm, and the remote work is also becoming to be a norm in Africa. So with the rapidly modernizing infrastructure and the rapidly upskilling talents in Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and more, country that market size is so huge. So it has the offices in New York, San Francisco, and Austin, and Texas, and it has also the office in Nairobi, Kenya, Kigali, Rwanda, Kampala, and Uganda. So the total funding of this startup is 181 million. So the fourth on my list of top 10 startup that has raised a lot of money in Africa is Flutterwave. So Flutterwave is striving to become the Stripe of Africa. So in October 2020, Another Stripe for Africa called Paystack was acquired by Stripe for 200 million. Believe it or not, this is a great sign for Flutterwave because uh, they are unlikely to also get acquired by Stripe. It speaks to the opportunity outside the investor companies are beginning to see in Africa fintech infrastructure. Like Flutterwave, most recently raised Series B round in January 2020, and this round was 35 million. Right, which is positioning the company for impressive growth through 2020 and into 2021. So you can see that this startup has continued to grow even the pandemic was on horizon. So it has also the office in San Francisco, Burundi, Central Africa, Republic of Congo, DRC Congo, and Egypt, Eritrea, Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. It has raised a total funding of 64.5 million USD. So, and the number five on my list, I have Sokowatch. So Sokowatch is the Tajil of Africa. So it's just going to connect the small shops to the affordable, timely inventory they need to be successful. Since launching in 2016, Sokowatch has expanded within Kenya and into Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda. In February 2020, the company raised a 15 million Series A round. Wow, this is so huge. Striving to broaden its services offering to include credit services and analytics for Africa's small business. The company is clearly getting some impressive traction, and I'm so excited. But I've seen the services here in Kigali, and I've seen they're operating really quite nice. So the office is in Nairobi, Kenya, and has raised a total funding of 18.6 million USD. The number six on my list, I have Swipe Technologies. So Swipe Technology is taking, the BRICS model to Africa. The company was a member of the YC Combinator, 20 class. And with Stripe, small business can get access to credit, better control their spending, and manage payroll. So the company is yet to raise post YC round because the money they've raised was given by the YC Combinator round, and is planning to do the post YC round. But this is not a surprise because in next few months, all of the fintech momentum happening in the region these days, this cannot be a surprise. We have seen the Andera raising a lot of money. Seen the Sokwash and so forth. But this office is also, this swap technology is located in Lagos, Nigeria, and Ghana. So, and the seven on my list, I have 54 Gene. With companies like Ancestry.com and 23andMe find major consumer success in the past 5 years, the human genome and genetic conditions are being understood faster and better than ever before. However, a massive population has been left out of this research. Nearly 90% of the genetic materials in pharmaceutical research is Caucasian, only 2% is African. So this is what this startup is trying to um, achieve, trying to get the African data related to pharmaceutical to be gathered in one place. So when I was doing my research, I didn't find a total round of funding, but I put it on number seven anyway. So the number eight is M Pharma. M-Pharma was founded in 2013 with the mission of bringing safe and affordable medicine to Africa continent. So M-Pharma is currently operational in Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. So in past 2 years, the company really has hit its stride, and fundraising they have closed show that it's on a good trajectory. So in 2019, for example, it has raised 12 million Series B, and in 2020 they have raised 13 million Series C. So now in 2020 again also raised an additional 17 million funding. The number nine is Heriam Health. Staying in the health sector, Riem Health is another African startup you need to watch in 2021. The company provides electronic medical records and practice administration, billing, and more tools for hospitals and private practices across Africa. So the number 10, which is the last one, is Sandy. Sandy offer on-demand package delivery platform between business in Africa as of early 2020. The company had over uh, 30,000 business customers, including household names like River, Toyota, DHL, Safaricom, and General Electric. Sandy raised a 20 million Series B in January 2020 and has used that money to begin the expansion into West Africa. So I hope this really helps you to resonate how the startup scene is changing in Africa and how different companies are raising fund are raising fund are raising fund to different investors. So let me go back to do a quick roundup about the startup I talked about. Number one was the Shipper, which is going to be a cash or payment system across the African continent. The number two was My Identity, which is going to provide the identity verification for the companies to know their customers better than any of their competitor. So the third one was the Andera, which is the outsourcing company that is going to help the remote work be a thing in Africa. So the fourth was the FlutterWave, which is another payment system, and is called the Stripe for Africa. The number five was SocoWatch, and SocoWatch is connecting small shop to affordable primary inventory they need to be successful. And Swipe technology is just the card technology. And we talked about how it was the member of YC Combinator and how they are planning to have a pre or post YC round of investment. Then the number seven was 54 Gene, which is a company that's going to organize the African pharmaceutical research and to be used only for Africans because the 2% of Africa uh, genome and genetics is only recorded. So the M Pharma was the number eight, which is also another startup founded in 2013. So with the mission to bring safe and affordable medicine to Africa continent. So the number nine was Herium Health, which is also in health sector. So, and this obviously is another startup to watch. The number nine, we said Sandy, which is offer on demand package delivery platform between businesses in Africa. The last things I want to talk about is these graphics. So you can see that in 2019, we had a boom of investment. So we have a total of 546 millions raised so far. And you can see that in the year 2020, the investment has dropped, but the investment was still there. You can see that starting of early 2020, we had a drop and we had total funding of 280 millions and after that we get a little bit higher and you can see that it's up and down. So we can see that even though the pandemic has affected the businesses in Africa, they kept trying to invest money and some of them luckily they got the investment even though it was not so big, so huge, but the opportunity to raise the fund didn't stop there because of the pandemic. So what I would say that is that there is a change in how the investment is done in African startup, and I believe that post the post the pandemic is going to be a good sign for African startup. So if you want to see my source, please go to that link and just read about all the different things that I talked about on this presentation. Thank you for watching and see you next time.